Well, hello. This is the second part of the Hangman applications. What we're gonna do in this video, in this part, uh, important things, how we tidy up our projects. But first of all, what we can do, uh, we're gonna add here at this stage. I'm gonna add a button here to click on the play. And when I click on the play, it's gonna those appears here with the word selected from a list randomly, and then you type here the letters and should appear there. But we'll do this one actually probably in next part. But what we're going to do today, this time, we're going to add the button here, and I'm going to add text view. Text view here, it gives me a number of tries. So it's up to the programmer how many tries you want to give to the user. We're going to give 6 here. However, you can increase that or you can decrease that. It's up to you in the programs, or you can even put an option fragment or activity background. So you click on the tries, you can set the tries from there. You can put it having buttons, radio buttons, or just type it and so on. It's up to you how you do design. So what we're going to do, we're going to add these two here, first of all. And secondly, we're going to tidy up our project in a way. I'm going to use 3 very important files. I'm going to use which is under the value folder, the style XML and the string XML, and of course color.xml. We can use these ones to make our XML files for the activity, the layout, very easy. So rather than putting all the lines, we can put them into the style and just we call it by name, as the said. To reduce the time, actually, I already created the styles, added what styles I wanted to do, the strings and the colors. I'll go through them, and then we can add these 2 elements in this part. All right, we'll go to the projects. So that's the projects we have. First of all, before we do anything, it's a good idea to have, because these ones we're going to call them. It means we need to give them IDs. So for the fragment, which is the red one, I'm going to give it an ID. And here the ID actually, because we noticed was play. So let's call it control for the game. So I say ID, see ID, and I say game control, or game, and let's go control. It's up to you how you want to call this one. Some people, they would like to use it the object oriented like that. Some people would like that. So either way, it works fine. Right, and the other 2, I want to get one for this and one for this, of course. So for this one, if you may recall this one, this is give us the state of the, so we call it game. So the ID for this one, I could call it game state. That is. And the third one, third and most, which is this one's here. This is the results. So does it say you won or you lost? So this is the results. So I'm going to call it game results. So I'm going to go ID. There it is. And I call it game. Just make sure it's consistent. So start with game. So here's the result. There it is. And right, there's always one result. That's it. So we've done this here. Now, what we need to do, we need to add these 2 things here. I already did on these three files, because that takes a bit of time. So design that. On the color, of course, on the colors here, I'm going to create a button here. There it is. I want the color for this one. And that's the colors here. Just in case you want to change it, just click here, right, and you can select which color you want. So it's up to you how you want to do that. The game control, the state, and the result. These are the background for all of this. And of course, the input color. So I've got this is in the colors XML files. In the styles, that's the one very important actually with the styles. So rather than get the gravity, the text size, the padding for it, where does it sit, and so on. You can put it in XML, in the style XMLs, and just call it by name. And it'd be very easier, and your program will be very tidy. And that's what we did. This is usually comes part of it. That is. The things we're going to have a look, we call it names. So wrap contents weight 1, for instance. It means if I call this one, any widgets or objects, if it's fragment or the button or whatever, it means the height and width for each and everything you need in the layout. You need these two things. So I say wrap content. The gravity I want in the center, and the layout weight, because what we're using here, we're using we're using a linear layout. So here it is. The weight is 1. All right. Now the other one is called text style. Here it is. The parent of it, text appearance, right? The text appearance of it. Here it is. So here we go. The name, here it is, wrap content, text size 36, and it is center, right? And then you've got, this is edit text style, which is a text style, the parent. Parent is text styles, here it is. So of course, text, capital characters, the input color, which is in the background here. This is inside color, so that's why it's tidy up. And this is says type. That's what you're going to see it later. And of course, this is for the button here. The buttons here. This is the color of one. Where put this names here, and there's input colors, right? The two things. That's all you need. Where would I find these ones? In color. That's how we tidy things up. There it is. The button color. Here it is. This color. The game control background, and so on. Input color. Here it is. So really, when you look at this one, you go to input color. When I call this, right? When I use this, what it does, it takes all of that and does it for me. And of course, from here, this goes to input color. It goes to the colors here. Here it is, and say input color, give it that color. So the colors, put them in the color, and the style, how does it do? Of course, dimensions, we can create dimensions as well. So if I go back to my ActiveXML, I've got the IDs for them. And for the fragment control, of course, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a button here and text edit view. Right. That's how we do it. There it is. If you notice here, we've got a linear layout for the button. Look at the linear layout. What does it say? Use style, wrap content, wrap center, weight 1. So what does it do? It goes here, looks for that, which is this one. What does it do? The height, wrap content is a center, and the weight is 1. Right. So then part of it, remember this linear out, it is this one. So this from here to here. This is the linear, because there's 2 parts. Can you see it? It's 2 parts, really. Split it to 2. If you notice, split this to 2, exactly the same what we've done here. If you notice, if you take this out, here it is. It does exactly what we're doing. We're doing exactly the same thing. So I'm going to put the button here, this part, and I'm going to put the text view here. So split them to 2. That's what it is, right? And that's what happens here. There it is. So I've got a linear layout here. Look at that. First one. Here it is. Wrap is the weight 1. And of course, this one, second one, which is really this one. If you notice, that's what it looks like. Of course, you can see that if you go to design, it says, give me the blueprint as well, right? And you can see them. And the blueprint, there are 2 parts here. The reason for that, if you say width is equal to the parents, that's different story altogether. So if I go, for instance, weight 1, and the width, I'm going to say parent, match parent, yeah, that's going to take the whole width. There it is. So if I go back here, notice That's how it works. You can do it like that if you want. Here it is, two parts, right? It does the same things, right? And that's how it works. So what we're gonna do, of course, we're gonna turn it around. And now, having done this, the XML, this is part of it. You can see it. You can see this is part of the fragment. So if I run the program now, yeah, and check on the build. Hopefully, it shouldn't take that long. It depends on your speed of your computer. Uh, so it gives the results. So so it's doing it now. Here it is. So and here's my and here it is, right? So this is a button actually. You can click on it, right? It's nothing going to happen. Of course, nothing is closed. Nothing is going to happen because this actually, what we're going to do, we can run the program again. I stopped it there. All right. And that is going to do actually show us. Now, what we're going to do, of course, we're going to build the Java files to deal with that. Well, I'm going to create classes. Classes I'm going to create are, if I have this one, the classes I'm going to create, I want something is for to deal with this. Right, so that's going to be part of the program rather than part of the XML. So I'm going to create classes. I'm going to create class. I'm going to call it Hangman class. What's that class got? Is number of tries. When you click on here, this is going to say how many tries. So if you click here, you play, right? And of course, this is going. If you got wrong, this is get reduced as numbers, right? And if you hit get to 0, and if it's 0, that should say lost. Here it is, yeah? If at any stage you finish the word, right, uh, without reaching 0, it says, it says you won. All right, and so on. So that's really has that's what we're going to do. That's the program, right? So we've done this part, created the button here, and it'll give you an idea how can we use the styles actually to reduce the number of lines in our XMLs. It'll be very tidy on the XML files. So if you notice, if I go to my XMLs here on simplest, you see it is really that's how much it is, right? So for the button, all I gotta say, it just it is the text on it, save from play, the style, that's a style. Give me a style. On a click, really is up to you when you on a click this one, or you can go on the active on a click, right? In the program. So you need to put an ID here on this buttons here. All right, so if you want to get from here, so I'm going to say it is an ID, and I'm going to say play PTN. It is. As soon as you do that, of course, in your JavaScript here, go and create. It is private. We've got a button here. It is. It is, and that was called play PTN. All right, and I can come here and I can say, here it is, play PTN. We'll find a few ID, close ID, and we've got the ID there, and that says it's called play PTN. There it is, and of course you can do this. And what I'm gonna go in that case, I'm gonna say play PTN. Set on a click. There it is, a new. There it is, and does this for me, right? So this is one way you can do this. Or if you don't want this at all, what you can do, I can remove all that here. There it is, and I can add this here. The on click, here it is. So the button here, I don't need this anymore. Here it is. If you want, that's the other way. Here it is. All I can say, what's going to happen if I click on it, on a click? Here it is. So I'm going to say, call it a play, yeah? Or I'm going to call it start playing, or let's call it play, right? Play, let's play. Right. So as soon as you do that, you can come here and you create something. Here it is. So I'm going to say it's called play. Here it is. Right. Of course, I can call the view on it, or I can come here and I'm going to create it. Create here first. Inside here it is. I can say, it can say private or public. It's up to you. Private, void, play. It is view, and don't forget so v or view. It is right, and that's done. So if you notice here, the error disappeared. As soon if I remove this one, there it is. You can see it, right? If you look at this here on a click, it should that comes red really. There's not on the play this one, right? If I say start playing, for instance, on the method, I can say start playing. It is right. Of course, there's an issue here because it doesn't find it. So if I start the program is crashed. So in that case, I can go here, and this has to, you see the gray. So it says start playing. It is right, and this actually refer to this one. So on the click, the same thing. So you do this, and you fill whatever's here, right? Well, that's actually the second part of these videos. I hope that makes sense to you. So which way you want to do it, right? And part of it, you're going to start actually to add more components and so on. Thank you very much. And should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you.